Hey everybody, it is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketer's Den. And what I like to do is I like to help you to be successful. And that is why after I left the industry, after 20 years, I said, it kind of gets in your blood. And I love working alongside distributors and also with companies to help them with their distributors. So today I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. And lately, I've been having lots of conversations, and that conversation revolves around samples. Most companies, not all, but most companies do offer samples, especially if you are working with a company that has products that go down the drain, if you will. In other words, consumables of some sort, whether it be skincare, CBD, whatever it is. Most companies do have samples. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I am a huge believer in samples. I know that samples work, but they don't work unless you do it the right way. To just buy samples doesn't do you any good. You have to make sure that you are using samples the correct way. So I want to go over a few methods that you can use for samples and what works and also what not to do, because there are some things that you shouldn't do with samples. And I'm a believer that samples should make you money, not cost you money. Now, they're an investment. There's no doubt you do have to purchase them. You don't earn commission on them. That's the law. That's not your company. That's just the way that it is. But if you look at them through the eyes of these are a tool that I can use in my business that will help me to grow my business, you're going to win. So you got to have that attitude right off the bat. So remember, they're a tool that will help you to grow your business. But just because you give a sample doesn't mean that you're going to get a sale or you're going to get an order, right? I mean, I just have to say it that way. So let's talk about a few things that you shouldn't do with samples. Don't do these because this is where you're going to run into a lot of expense without much return on your investment, okay? So the first thing is that when you select your samples, don't just pick every single sample that your company offers. Because what'll happen is they'll say, well, do you have a sample of this? And do you have a sample of that? And da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you could be sampled to death, and then you never know what you have. I mean, there's great ways to organize them, but you don't need to have each and every sample. It's an expense for you. You want to I recommend ordering 1 or 2 different samples with each order that you place, and you slowly build up your inventory. So again, don't order all the samples, but build it up. So take it slow. Take it slow. The second thing that I would say that you don't want to do when it comes to sampling is I'm thinking of an event specifically. I see this all the time, that people will put out a bowl of samples and people just dig, and they don't take just one sample. They take lots of samples. Well, a no-no. A sample is something that you want to not just hand them a sample, have that conversation about it. So a hard, fast rule for me is never, ever, ever give out a sample unless you have contact information for that person so you can follow up. Because you all know fortune's in the follow-up, right? So in order to get to give somebody a sample, you should have that discussion on how to use it, etc. When are you going to use it? When should I check back with you? Okay. So don't just put out the bowl and let them grab. You want to have that conversation, and it's one sample. And quite honestly, depending on the product, can you really tell with a sample if it's going to work for you? Okay, so don't just hand them out willy-nilly. The other thing that I would tell you about samples is don't just give them the sample, even though you get a name and a number. What you don't want to do is you don't want to walk away without a commitment. Don't walk away without a commitment. What do I mean by that? That means when you hand somebody a sample, you will say to them, and I kind of hinted the last time, so here's the sample. This is how you want to use it. When are you going to try it? When are you going to try it? When can I check back? I'm getting a commitment. Now, why do I say this? Now, if you're like me, you could go into your junk drawer, just like I've gone into my junk drawer, and I have a bunch of samples that people sent me. Now, what happens is, this is what you don't do. You don't just send people samples. You don't just send them samples. Maybe ask them what sample they want. They place an order. You've got samples at home. You want to mail it to them. Don't just willy-nilly send samples. Ask them what sample they want. Okay, so don't just, send out a sample without a commitment of when are you going to try it. So really, really important. And again, I'm a consumer, so I just look in my drawer. Okay, but to just send somebody a sample, maybe I have absolutely no interest in it. Okay, have that conversation first. Really, really important. Again, I go back to the expense of samples. The company, one of the companies that I work alongside has got samples. They are expensive compared to most samples, but I turn it around and I say, you know what? When I use these samples and I use them the right way, it can turn into $600+ in sales. Well, I'm not real good with money, but man, that's a pretty good return on my investment. So that's how I look at it, is that samples can lead to sales, can lead to discussions. Okay, so it is expensive. Keep track, because you got to talk to your accountant, but I will tell you samples are deductible. Really, really important. So another thought, if you aren't able to get samples of everything that you have, is especially when it's people that you know. Okay, not just a stranger off the street, but for example, you got a family member and they want to try something. Sometimes I will take a product right out of my big bottle and I'll give them some with instructions on how to use it. It's not 100% meeting all the regulations and stuff, but it's my brother, it's my sister, whatever the case may be. It's people that I'm comfortable enough with. So I'll just give them a few, a test from my big bar, or my big jar, if you will. Okay, so that's a thought. Here's something else. And again, it depends on your company. Most companies, not all, most companies have a money back guarantee, right? You try it for a couple of weeks. If you don't like it, you can send it back and we'll take it back. Okay, I call this the free home trial. I call this the puppy dog close. Okay, so what's a puppy dog close? So you go to the Humane Society, the breeder or whatever, and you're gonna pick up a puppy, but you're gonna just take them home for the weekend, and you're gonna try him out, see if you like him, see how he fits in with the family. Okay, well, after the weekend, you got to make a decision. Well, the decision's made. You've had that puppy at home. You've fallen in love. You've got it. Okay, you're keeping that puppy. You can do the same thing with your product. Now, I caution you, this is only with people that you have a really good relationship with and that you trust, they trust, because, there is a little risk, but not with people that you know closely. So this I have seen work really, really well. So you take your product and say, you know what? They say, well, I don't know if I want to spend all that money, and say, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you this. And I'm going to check back with you in a week or whatever the length of time you select. Give them enough time. I want you to open it. In fact, I open it for them right on the spot, because otherwise they say, oh, I don't want to open this. No, open it so they can try it. Take it home. I want you to try it for a week, 2 weeks. let's set up a time right now, and we're going to talk about it and see how you like it. If you like it, you just pay me. It's really easy. We'll get you on your subscription so you've got it all the time. But I want to take away all the fear. You can try it and see if you like it. Now, if you don't like it, that's okay too. Because what we'll do is number one, we'll find the right product for you. I'll get the product back from you because my company has a money back guarantee, and we'll send it back, but we'll get you the right product. So that is called a free home trial. You take away all the risks. But I can't do it with somebody that I really don't know, somebody that I trust, because what happens if I don't get the product back and I can't send it back and blah, blah, blah. No. This is only for a few select. So that is another alternative that you can use for the sampling. Okay, really, it's a technique that has worked wonders. Works wonders, okay? So the free home trial is one that you don't hear that much about, but I will tell you, and I'm going from my own personal statistics. I can't, this isn't scientific, but I can tell you from many people that I've worked alongside that have done it, that 80% of those products are sold. 80% are sold. If I take away the risk, that's what I'm going to do. So I've actually got a handful of people that I'm doing that with right now that are good friends of mine. Hey, just try this. If you don't like it, I would really love your opinion, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And of that handful of those 5 people, 4 of them are sold. But here's what it also does is if they don't like that product, I can help them. So that's where you start to get into more consultative selling. So if you think of samples as an investment in your business and not an expense, and you do it the right way, and you follow up, and you know who's got what, and when a new product comes out, et cetera, there are some folks, ambassadors, distributors, whatever you are with your company, that actually have a tester club. I love this one. Would you be part of my club that when the new products come out, you'd be willing to try it and give me your opinion? Okay, so you've kind of got a built-in group of free home trial people. That works wonders. And again, these are your really core good customers. So there's a few ideas about sampling. If you invest in samples and you invest the time and you do the right kind of follow-up and you are diligent about it, you're going to have success. I mean, I just look at it this way. If a box of samples costs you $20 and you get one sale out of it, out of the 10, 20 samples, whatever it is more than paid for itself. But again, with free home trials, 80%, it works. I'm telling you, it works like magic. So this is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den. Love to see you join our private Facebook group called the Network Marketers Den, where we share more tips and ideas. We've got a Monday morning motivation, kind of get you going for the week. So a lot of different things that are in there. And if you want more information, you want to pick my brain a little bit, I'll do a free discovery call with you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you achieve your dreams and goals because you're in the best industry that there is. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.